5-1. Spurs, of course, concentrating on the Europa League this week. Confirmation there that Liverpool are 15 points clear of Arsenal with 4 matches remaining in the Premier League. Oh, not only does Nedum get to fly from Seville to Wembley, now he gets to talk about Liverpool taking the title from Manchester City. We'll hear from Nedum in a moment, but Stevie, we've got to start with you.
Well, he's back where it belongs. That's how I feel. That's how I was brought up to expect it. That was the only thing that mattered, was winning the title. And when you did it, you enjoyed it. But then the next day, you move on. Because you've got to do it all over again.
Well, not
and the classic
not for a while. You've got 4 games, you can just do what you want.
Yeah, that's exactly what you're going to see as well. Because it's very difficult when you've got 4 games with nothing on the line.
Yeah.
So you'll see a lot of changes. You probably certainly won't see too many victories. But that doesn't matter. That's not what counts. What counts is what they've done from the start of the season to now to win the title. And thoroughly deserved it.
You're trying to pretend that you only had one night celebrating, Stevie. It's something I do not believe for
One each.
Ah, dear. It's interesting, you used the word embarrassing almost, that Liverpool won this so easily, Kieran.
Well, I mean, for the rest of the Premier League, yeah. I mean, with 4 games to go, you feel that the standards are so high now, you don't expect a team with all of the quality in the clubs throughout the league, you just don't expect a team to win it that early. Obviously, City are coming off the back of a treble and 4 Premier Leagues in a row. At some point, they're going to dip. But, you know, for the other teams, I think even Arsenal, I have to say, for all of their mishaps throughout the season, the injuries, the suspensions, and all of the excuses, we want more from the other clubs to challenge. We want to see these games go into the final game. That's what the Premier League's all about. So credit to Liverpool, though. I can't take anything away, because what Arne Slot's done to come in his first season is remarkable.
Yeah, very much unexpected. I think it's fair case, isn't it? Like when we were talking about who was going to win the Premier League at the start of the season, we agreed that maybe City would slip off a little bit, but it was all about Arsenal.
Right.
And they obviously didn't step up to the plate, but Liverpool very much did.
And I think because of that, because you have a new manager coming into Liverpool, I think everybody expected that it was going to take some time for him to figure out the players he has, bring in some players that move things around. And it looked like he'd been there for 4 or 5 years, how smooth that transition was. And, to Kieran's point, there was nobody else who could put the consistency to challenge him. I think it was almost like that core behind them was all very similar. They kept beating each other, which then just kept giving Liverpool more and more gap to win the title. And that's why it was so comfortable. And I was teasing Stevie earlier that now puts them 1 more Premier League title ahead of Leicester. So they've kind of got that little.
There we go.
They've got that little gap now. So, but yes, Liverpool class of the Premier League this year by far.
Nedum, do you agree with Stevie? Back where it belongs.
Yeah, I couldn't disagree more, to be honest. But yeah, I like what he went for, and I think that's the identity of the football club. And I think the fans, the players, and everyone that goes there, they have that belief that they should be contending for those titles and winning them. But I think you do need to give them credit this season because of how consistent they have been. I think, as you mentioned, could you really say City are going to win it another year? Probably not. So then you look at Arsenal, the side that felt like they were sort of getting better and better season in, season out. Well, there were times when Liverpool were going on a run here, and you're almost saying, well, Arsenal, this is your moment. And in the key moments, they kind of fell away. And for Liverpool, they're very deserving of being Premier League champions this year. You look at some of the key players for them this season. You look at that Van Dijk's, looking at Salah's. These are people who won the league 5 years ago. So these are people who experience and understanding what's required to give yourself a chance to win it and do what they need to do. And I think there's been a time where, in terms of general conversation, some people say that Liverpool have only won it because it's been a down season in the Premier League. See, I don't necessarily think that's the case. I think 2 things can be true. And I think Liverpool have been so consistent this year that across any year they'd always be contending for a title. But I think for the way the Premier League has been this year, with some of the bigger sides not performing to their best, that's another conversation itself. And that means that Liverpool stand out even more in my mind, because they didn't get caught up in any of the dramas that have existed elsewhere. They've been fantastic, and as you say, seeing the new deals for Van Dijk, new deals for Salah, seeing that feeling, and I think for Arne Slot as well. I think I was speaking to somebody today from the Anfield Wrap, and she was saying the most important person this year is Arne Slot, because in reality, for as good as we've seen Liverpool be across these last few years, in reality he's still only the second Liverpool manager to lift a Premier League title. And when you think about the fact he was coming in to replace Jurgen Klopp, what I love is the fact that he didn't arrive with ego to think that he needed to destroy something to build it back again. He saw the strengths of his side, he sent some of the weaknesses, and he tried to build upon that. Liverpool was not a broken football club when he came in, but he made sure that they were ready to go in and to succeed. And I think the talk was, with Liverpool TV at the start of the season, somebody asked him, like, how many points did he get last year, what's his hope for the season? He said, I'm going to try and get more than we got last year, and he certainly achieved that already with 4 games to go. And if they win the games that left, 94 points. It's another iconic Premier League season. Credit to them. I'm sure they're going to enjoy it. And the talk is there's going to be 2 million Liverpool fans when the bus parade happens in a few weeks' time. So more power to them, because they've essentially done the stuff that many people within England dream of.
Ted, to be honest, because he's got everything spot on, as has Arne Slot. You know, when it looked like things weren't quite right, he made decisions, he made changes that righted the ship. When things weren't going well during games, tactically, he righted the ship. He picked the right teams at the right time for certain games. He got that right. He has gotten every single thing right. But I just doubled down on what Nino said. What he got right most of all was not coming in to Liverpool and trying to blow away all the stuff that had happened under Klopp and try and be his own man.
From the outside looking in, and someone obviously has never coached, that seems like the sensible thing to do.
Yeah, but to be a top Premier League manager, generally you got to have some ego. Right. You know, you really need to have an ego, and the best ones don't let their ego get in the way of what needs to be done. What is the right thing to do? Never mind my ego. What's the right thing to do? And the right thing that Arne Slot did was, yes, he took that rock and roll football, but he just tempered it a little bit so that it wasn't from minute 1 to minute 90 every single time he got on the field. They used it in times during the game to take advantage over the opposition, and then they slowed it down and played the football. And he managed to get a group of players, a squad, not just a couple, because you need everybody, to understand the timing of when you play your rock and roll stuff, and then when you take the air out of the game, and then when you pass it